Okay, we got a lot to do this morning. Frank, we see you. Chuck, Bob, Steven. I can't see. Is it Susan? They got a lot of backlight. Lynn, Linda, Larry, and Tom just came in, so that gives you a clue as to who's here.
Okay.
What's that? Oh, and Helen, I didn't see you back there, Helen. I knew you were here, but just didn't see you. Well, we do have a lot to do. We're going to run through the photos, and then if there's time within our normal recording time to start working on other things, the cards, etc. But we may just cut it off at that point so we can do our show and tell. Two announcements that I know of, which I know. The first is that the next meeting, week after next, Lynn and I are going to be gone, and we're back into that scenario of who's going to host the meeting. And Frank is willing to do that as he did last time, but we would need to start probably at 11:30, Frank?
Yeah, I would say 11:30, 11:45. And I have to go over to the hospital to get a blood workup. Now, last time I was out quick and back, but you never know. So if we can move it back to 11:30, I should be okay.
Frank, I'm not laughing at you, but I was just looking at my my background, and if I stoop down a little bit, I have a well-deserved halo.
Halo, I saw that.
I don't know what to do with this.
Will this be a hybrid meeting on the?
Just a quick question of the people that are there. How many plan to attend a Zoom meeting on the 5th? Show of hands.
Zoom?
1, 2, 3.
Regular meeting?
Is it Zoom or in person?
It would have to be a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. And we Frank can record it, but no way to right now to be able to get it other than here at the church, and no other way to get it.
Yeah, I would have
as
to
a
use
hybrid
my
meeting.
Zoom. Yeah, I'd have to use my Zoom account.
Well, let's just put it this way. Watch for a note from Helen about the meeting. The code is probably going to be the same one, but if not, there'll be a part of the announcement about time and about the code for the meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any other announcements? I have one more, but does anybody else have any announcements in the group? Okay, this is a little hard for me. I don't like to wear things on my sleeve, but word has gotten out, and I wanted this group. This is not ominous, by the way. That sounds like a bad lead-in.
Yeah.
It's actually a very good thing. But word is about to get out, and I wanted the group to hear it from me rather than from another source. I did not apply for this, but somehow, some way, I was asked to have a solo exhibit at the community church in Chapel Hill. And for me, that means a huge amount. To just get picked out of the atmosphere and asked to do this. The show's going to go, and one reason I haven't said anything before now is that I really and truly wasn't sure that it was going to happen. And just this last week did it get to the point that I felt comfortable talking about it. I didn't want to make an announcement and then have it not happen, and then have to make explanations. And it has to do with painting of the sanctuary at the church. The exhibit's going up on Saturday, January 6th. There's going to be a reception February 3rd, which is a Saturday, early afternoon. And I'll send you more information with the hopes that some of you will come by. Lynn's helped me a whole lot trying to put this together, and picking 40 pictures to go up in the sanctuary. And it's a really, really cool venue. And I'm just ecstatic about being able to do it.
Great.
But, okay, that's out of the way.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's humbling, let me put it that way, really humbling. All right.
You know, as a longtime member of the place, you're in very good company. There's been some really wonderful artists who've displayed there, and it's a great place to display. It's a pretty venue, and it's, you know, all the walls of the sanctuary, so you've got a chance to, you know, display anything that you have there
Yeah.
through this space. Well, that's great. I'm really glad for you.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Stephen. I'm very much aware of what a big deal this is. So anyway, all right, I'm going to start the photos. I don't know where Bill is. I think he was planning to come, but
Bill's picking up his daughter at the airport.
oh,
Oh, okay.
I've got to get this.
Yeah, true.
Although you picked me up by 2 weeks.
Why won't this let me do this? Here we go.
Okay, this,
Oh, hang on one second. I have to. I haven't started sharing yet,
okay.
and it doesn't want me to do that. Okay,
Ooh.
Can you move the people out of the way?
just a second. I'm trying to quit preview. Well, shoot. I think I'm nervous from what I just said.
Just relax.
And now my
That's recovered.
all right.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. This one, after I sent this picture to Mike, I looked at it again. I've titled this The Lesson. Because I didn't look at it quite good enough, and I've got the tree in the upper left-hand corner. And I hope my takeaway is, don't ever do that again. Look at the picture before you send it. So this was, took it on aperture f9, ISO 100, 28 millimeters, and 50th of a second. And this is at, took this at, I think the name of it was Blackwood Station. It's coming out of Hillsborough. There's a brand new park. It's really cool. Great walking paths. It's just a nice place to go. And they've got these old buildings, nobody lives there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a caretaker that mows and does all of this. But it's an old farm that goes back to the 1700s.
Where did you say this?
It's coming out of Hillsborough. If you're going to the hospital and you take that right turn off of 86, I think it is, you go all the way to the end of that road, take a left, and that's, I don't know the name of that road.
Yeah.
And Bob, I think one of the really positive things in what I've seen in your photos is the color intensity has zoomed way, no pun intended, zoomed way up. And that just helps so much.
Well, I've had,
Mike, I don't see the picture, the image. Is it up there?
Well, I thought it was being shared, but perhaps it's
Okay.
not.
Well, while you're,
It showed up before for a second and then disappeared.
while you're looking, Bob, that one's sharp from very close to all the way in the distance too.
Yeah, I picked the picture and I just didn't look at it close enough. And after I sent it, oh, but I get it, and maybe it's a learning experience, I hope.
Well, I don't know what's happened here.
I remember getting a tip in reading something one time about when you're setting up your composition to look at all the edges. And I never used to do that, but now I do, and it really helps. It's just like you look at all around the perimeter.
That's all right, Mike, as long as everybody there can see it.
It's a good idea, great idea.
I actually kind of like that transformer.
Mm-hmm.
As its visual foreground, and there it is. I thought you proposed it rather nicely.
Okay.
Um,
There, okay, now I see it.
Okay.
You can get rid of that if you want to, one sweep of get
Can you
rid of
grab
it.
the top above you and drag it over, Mike?
Yeah, sorry.
Well, you're gonna lose part of the house.
Yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't replace the house, actually.
Yeah.
It does a remarkable job of sort of seeing what would continue if that were not there and putting it in.
Well, I've proselytized for getting back and including more than you think you're going to want, so that you have a better chance maybe of cropping it.
Mhm.
So, but good shot. And this one
Nice shot.
is terrific.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is the same location, I think it's Blackwood Station. It's, it's a farm,
nice picture.
but I kind of like the RV or the four-wheeler in the back.
Yeah.
But it's rural. So, and that was the same, 150 for the second, or 252nd, took it on aperture f9.
Well, and again, with the color saturation, the blue sky is great.
Nice leading lines too.
Yeah,
Good.
terrific. All right, Linda is up next.
Mm,
No bull in this one.
no.
So with the theme and my last 2 weeks being incredibly stupidly busy, I had to go to my archives to find something, and I found these 2005. And when I looked at the information, I shot it on a Canon 20D, which at that point, the only thing I knew how to do was to shoot on automatic. I guess I just got lucky. The information on it is, let's see, it's 1/160th of a second at f7 ISO 100 at 87 millimeters. Is that close or not? A little bit.
Well, I asked if she had a long telescopic lens on it, long lens on it.
But I think 87 is not that far away.
No, you were brave to get that close, and it looks like you were laying on the ground too.
When I see a photo, I just have no fear whatsoever.
I wouldn't have.
Was there a fence?
I think there must have
I'm
been.
hoping
I don't remember. It's 2005.
Well, you lived to tell it, right?
Yeah, I did.
Well, it's good that you got the horns and the head above the foliage in the background, because that really isolates
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't know what that
Nice.
is. So maybe some kind of insecticide. I have no idea. But he was sporting it.
Well, he didn't get you, that's the good thing.
He
He
shot
got him.
And here's the baby.
Nice shot.
Gosh.
Yeah, and this one, let's see, the calf was at 1/160th a second, f 8.0, ISO 400, and that was at 38
photos on that one. too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks like a new little cow.
Sweet.
Oh,
Everything's right on it.
yes,
Exposure, sharp.
Was this taken in the village?
No, this is, in, Ancrumdale, New York.
Oh, okay, all right.
Nobody knows where Ancrumdale is. It's rural.
Well, Linda has one more, and it's, I'm going to title it, Dog's Not Necessarily a Man's Best Friend, if it'll move.
oh,
Ah,
The same farm, on the same day. And let's see, what, 1/25th of a second, f7.1, ISO 400, and at 38.
Tells a story.
It tells a
Yep.
story. I do like to take pictures that tell stories. I looked at it before I sent it and started wondering whether I should have cropped out the cow that was on the right side, but, I was afraid it was just gonna squeeze him too much.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the next two are Bill's, and I'm going to skip them in off chance that he gets back, but if he doesn't, we'll do them at the end and leave some. Oh, come on.
Wow, nice shot.
This is Frank. No,
Yeah.
no, this is not Frank. This is a picture by Frank.
I should use that as the video face, but yeah, this was one I took a couple of years ago down at the Farrington Village, and I was over by the goat pen, and I started taking some photographs of them. And this one, I just caught him and I don't know what he was doing at the time. It just, I figured either he was singing or he was yawning, but I chose to call him yodeling because that's what he looks like he's doing. So it was, like I said, I just put the lens on him and fired, and I just captured that. I didn't plan it or anything, but it was fun watching them. And this, like I said, was taken a couple of years ago with my Canon, and it was 300 millimeter. It was 1/250th of a second, and an ISO of 2000. And I don't know why I had it that high, but it was an f8. But to me, it definitely says farm life.
Yeah, no kidding. This one is Frank's too, and this was not out of the park.
Oh, that's a-
No, this
Yeah.
one I took over the weekend. This was at a farm over in Siler City, right off of 64 on what's the name of the street? Bauer Store Road. And I pulled up there and I caught these cows out in that lower pasture. You can see some of the barns and buildings up in the top, and I thought it just made a nice shot, like of a lower pasture with all the cows mingling around down there. And so this one was taken a 50 millimeter. It was 1/400th of a second, f11, because I wanted to get as much depth of field in there as I could, and it was an ISO of 400.
This is one of the few pictures of a pond that's not nearly drained.
Yeah, and again, yeah, it was last Saturday that this was taken.
Yeah, I know that farm. That's really nice job.
Where do you park when you take that shot? I mean, that's a pretty busy area.
Well, Power Store is not too busy, you could go off, but it's, you can pull off, but it's a narrow road. There's not a lot of shoulder, but.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
Yeah,
No,
get
thanks.
them Sharp from the foreground to all the way to the
All the
back.
way back.
Yeah.
F11.
Can you hear the comments, Frank?
No, just very, very low. Are they holding the microphone or the microphone?
No,
in
we
the-
set it up a little differently and thinking it
Okay.
might help, but we'll start passing it around. But anyway, compliments all the way
Oh,
around.
thanks. And if you ever go out that way, there's a real nice vineyard right up the street from it called Fire and Clay Vineyard.
All right. Larry is up next.
Hmm.
So Stephen and I and a group of people went on a hike, and it looks a little different on the screen. Well,
It is a little blown out on the screen, but it's not on my screen.
Yeah.
the this was the, old mill dam, which has water flowing across it all the time, so you can see that the drought was really, so, and you can see the lines on the pillar that was holding the wheel at one time, where it's darker, that's where the river usually sits. So it was really, quite, dry, and, I just thought it was interesting, an old stone, I don't know how old it was.
Really old.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah.
This was on Cedar Creek in, a park, in Alamance County. We were taking a hike up there, and, we walked across the dam, although the sign said, "Do not cross dam." But I didn't think there was anything wrong since there wasn't any water. But normally, the water's flowing over it, and the, part of the structure would be, obscured by the water. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting, that's all.
Yeah, life is pretty.
I was trying to figure out what that thing was, but yeah, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying at this
It
point.
holds the water wheel,
Yeah.
and, they did have other, older homes, that were similar to, what we just saw. There's a park there, but it's a really nice park. It has, a bunch of, frisbee courses, those golf courses that you play frisbee? And there was a whole group of people, I guess there was some kind of tournament going on. But, do you remember that, Stephen?
Yeah, they had something called football. I had no idea what it was. It was a strange course laid out like a frisbee course. I don't know if you kicked the frisbee or what you did with it.
Huh.
But it was an enjoyable hike, and then in the woods, and anything, when you're walking in the woods is always enjoyable, so.
Well, let me say one more for the record that I don't know if you can see my screen. It's not very, maybe you can't see it
Yeah,
well,
see
but you
it.
can see how much properly exposed on my screen, but it's overblown on the TV. So it is
Oh,
a nice
really?
shot.
It looks nice
And
on mine.
the mill wheel, whatever it is, foundation, nice that that's on the third rather than centered.
Yeah.
Good crop. All right, Helen.
Ooh,
Okay, I'm 2 weeks late.
Oh, I was gonna give you I shot this at 3200 ISO, which is,
Wow.
yeah, I know.
Wow.
It was, yeah, very overcast. And, at, F9 and, the 60th of the second.
Came out good.
Okay. Helen?
Okay, I am 2 weeks late. This is autumn, and I'll call this late autumn since I'm late getting the picture in. This was taken at the Northeast District Park, and, this is the reflection. I had the whole reflection and the tree, and I decided to crop out the tree and just use the reflection, and I thought I was gonna do some wonderful stuff playing with it and run it through a bunch of filters, and I didn't need to. All I had to do was flip it. So it's water. Yeah, I printed it and it looks awful on print. That is what I would like for it to look like. But,
Right.
printing is,
very
I
nice,
actually
Helen.
thought it was the bank and the reflection, but looking at it now, it's really clear that it was all reflection.
yeah.
Yep.
Let's see, 1/500, 200 millimeter, ISO 200, f 5.6. It came out right well.
It's a nice shot, Helen.
Looked like a painting. Was that a
Yeah, it does.
It looks like an impressionistic painting.
Yep.
Yeah. I was wanting to, my aim was to be like Tom and really play with it, and I didn't need to, and I was shocked. I usually run things like that through a filter in Word of all things, and,
Huh.
just didn't need to. Frank, you asked a question, I think.
Was this a 300mm lens or?
It was a 250 lens, and I'm realizing that lens was part of my trouble. It isn't a very good lens, so a blurred picture like that was just perfect for that lens. If I want a blurred picture, I'll pull out that lens.
Well, it's a nice one.
I think I have the same lens.
Yeah, that's a good excuse, we should use those.
Yeah, not me.
Okay, Tom's up.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, okay, this is along our driveway. One morning, Alice saw this little guy lying there. Probably everybody's seen this phenomenon. They
Oh,
moms drop their little ones down. This is probably just hours old.
Yeah.
And,
Was mom or dad around?
pardon?
Was mom or dad around?
Mom's right there.
Mom is probably, no, they go out of sight. And that's why people freak out when they think that they've been abandoned. They're not abandoned, but they're out, the mother is out of sight, and they're incredibly well camouflaged. This was probably, I don't know, maybe 30 feet from our driveway. Alice was walking the dog and saw it flying out there. We've seen it several times.
Well, and I don't know what you did in terms of focus, but the baby's sharp, 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 and everything else goes blurry, which is cool,
Yeah.
I think.
And I think I probably did that in post. But anyway, it was really, really a sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, it's just an awe.
Yeah.
That was an honest and
Would you identify this as Tom's without him knowing the name?
So this is our road. So you would know it. Well, and then it's standing at the intersection of our road and our driveway. And I worked on it a lot in post. I used a blend mode called multiply. And I've never really understood exactly what the blend modes do. I just go through all of them. And one of the things that people might not know is that you can adjust the opacity of each of these blend modes. So you can, when you look at it, you'll look at it at 100% and you think, oh, that's too much, but then you can back off. And I think this was around 40% of the filter. That's called multiply. And I don't know, I did a lot of other things. I added some things, and I took a lot of extraneous dots, white dots out there, out. There's still some in there, but I took a lot of them out.
It looks to me like a sepia, Tom.
Yeah.
It looks like sepia. As
Yeah,
like an old time photo.
yeah, that's what I was going for. I wanted it like like you're going through a nice antique store and you see a nice watercolor or a nice oil painting that's not tremendous, but
Really moody.
lovely.
It is.
To me, the first thing I said, well, it's dark, but the picture grabs you, I think, for me. Yeah, it's a great
Yeah,
picture.
and the road, you're following the road.
What time of day did you say?
I don't know, I'll look it up and see.
And going back to Bob's comment, this has detail down into the darkest area.
Mm-hmm.
I like dark photographs.
Yeah, me too.
It definitely draws you into it, that road.
No kidding.
And then the light coming through. It's,
Yeah, light, that's beautiful.
I've taken many pictures at that intersection. It's just always, wow, I get to live here. I can't believe this.
Really nice, Tom.
really really nice.
I like the frame.
Yeah.
You think it's too big?
No.
No.
No,
You mean the border, the
No.
dimension of the border?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I just think it just adds to the mood.
Okay.
well, and Tom gives good lessons about the boundary because it,
Yeah.
you know, especially with a black background like we're stuck with
Yeah.
on this. I mean, it would almost disappear without the,
I don't see, is that a huge, or you ordered the image?
I mean, is it a print that's framed and hanging on the
Oh,
wall?
no, I put that in post.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can add that.
Infinity?
I've never seen that done before.
in Infinity.
Infinity.
Yeah.
You think-
It's, it's surprisingly complicated to do that sometimes, but this is a very easy way. But what happens is you don't lose any of the subject matter, but the image becomes smaller.
Well-
But you don't lose any subject matter.
and Linda, you use,
Lightroom, yeah.
yes, yeah, Lightroom. Well, and I don't know how it works there, but with Elements, you create a blank canvas,
Yeah.
and you can resize it, and then you just drag the photo onto that canvas, and then you can reshape or make bigger or small or anything. It's easy to do in Elements. I don't know about Lightroom, but I
That's
bet,
essentially what I did here.
yeah. All right, thanks, Tom. Lynn is up.
Ah,
This was obviously in Farrington.
great coloring.
I was going to look up and see what kind of chicken it is, but I never did. So I took this at 1/6400th of a second, f3.2, 29 millimeters, ISO 1600.
And the 3.2 is one thing that makes this, in that even as you get past the eyes going up, it's already blurry, which is really cool.
Hopefully draws attention to the chicken face. If chickens have faces, yeah.
It's hard to do beaks.
Looks good.
It's hard to get beaks.
Yeah, the whole head is been processed, and look at this,
Yeah.
look at the feathers.
Yeah, others, such detail.
I grew up on a chicken farm.
Did you?
This picture has different meanings.
Is one of them dinner?
Or
eggs.
Eggs. I don't think that, maybe it was an egg layer, I don't know.
This next one's Lynn's too.
Wow.
So this is severely cropped. I
Oh,
took a
wow.
picture of the whole cow. This was 1/400th of a second, f2.8, 64 millimeters, ISO 1600. But I never knew, look at those eyelashes
Yeah.
that go over the cow's eye.
Is that black and white, or is that, I mean, it looks like it's black and white.
Well, it is now, thanks to Mike's suggestion.
Okay.
When it was in color, he said it looked blue, so I changed it to black and white.
Wow.
I think you could look at it for a second and not realize what it is until, and then it jumps at you.
Yeah.
I thought it was about the back of some woman's head, her hair.
No,
That's long hair.
I was just intrigued with the eyelashes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Keeps the flies out.
That's what I
Like a
was thinking.
Charolais cow.
There is a fly or some sort of insect just to the lower, like at 4 o'clock.
I thought that was an eye booger.
It could be.
Could have been an eye booger.
No, I think it was
Like my
like-
dog.
Eloquent description, Chuck. All right. I'd print this in a New York second.
Yeah.
All right, Chuck's up.
I wish I had my big camera when I saw this picture. We were at a friend's place in snow camp, and I brought my camera stuff with me, thinking maybe I'd have time before our dinner to snap a few shots. And I don't like how blue this is on the screen. But anyway, this is my iPhone. We were walking around this guy's pasture, and I think the horse on the left is a gelding, and the other one was a mare. And they were pretty amusing. They just really only cared about us because they thought they might get some snacks, which they did get. And with the three of us walking around, and we just were walking down this culvert to a low part of the land, and I turned around, and it was just this nice shot of the two horses kind of wondering what we were doing and when they were going to get their snack. And so I just took my phone out and snapped the picture, and I zoomed it quite a bit. It's like a 50% factor, which I guess means that's 150% of the original image, but it's an ISO of 80, 47 millimeters. It's an f1.8 at 105th of a second. Those settings are mysterious because, you know, it's just a point and shoot. So I just chose those, and I just did a little bit of a color adjustment. I think I may have gotten, I let it do too much on the vibrance or something, but it was, you know, overcast that evening.
Clouds are great.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did take the phone wire out. It was a phone wire.
Ah.
Tough, yeah. You can see the pole there. I just took it right out of there.
Was it running from right to left?
It was running from the pole to the left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good you did that. It's certainly not noticeable.
I think composition-wise, there's too much blank space on the left side. It's just okay. You know, I just want to have a contemporary one that, you know, and I have, my next one is from my archive. So, and I was real busy also, and I was really focused on my break racing, and so I can't do two things at once.
Well, and speaking, there should have been another announcement at the beginning. North Carolina, South Carolina, cross country, first place.
Yeah.
First place.
State champion or regional champion for me, yeah. I had a good season. I raced 10 times and I've been on the podium 10 times, so.
Wow.
You were? So you're the champion?
Yeah, for my age group, it's age groups. So,
But
you
still.
know, it's not like an open, but yes,
Still.
thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, terrific. Attaboy. This is a really good shot.
Oh, wow. Like this is France, so, you know, it's a beautiful place. It's hard to not miss it. It's hard to mess it up, you know? And we were traveling from Paris down into the Loire Valley, and we stopped, I can't remember the name of the town, but our destination, and maybe Bourges, I think was the name of the town. But anyway, it's a couple hours south of Paris, and we stopped just because it's a very picturesque place, and so I had a few minutes to take a few photographs, so I did. And this one is an ISO of, I shot all my friends' pictures I shot as JPEGs. I kind of wish I didn't do that now, but I could still manipulate them just fine. But anyway, there's an ISO of 2000, so I had it on auto ISO, and it just shows that. And 27 millimeters, f8, and it was at 1/1250th of a second. So a very fast shutter. So I don't know why it shows. I guess I had it on, I think I had it on aperture priority and auto ISO, so it filled in the blank. I just knew I wanted to be about an f8 and clear the picture.
I think
I love the intersection of the walls and the row of crops on past the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
It's just so much going on.
And the colors are really great.
Oh.
And that line that looks like at the end of the wall, that's another road down there, and there were some cyclists on that road, and I took a few pictures of that, but this was the best composition.
you made it.
Down right there, it looks like there's something extraneous in there.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. I probably should take that out. That would be easily taken out. Yeah, it looks like some kind of vine or something.
You said in the note to me, Chuck, that you were just on your way back from Hendersonville.
Yeah.
And I thought I didn't see anything like this in one, and now I know why.
Yeah, it was an unrelated, I threw it in as an excuse of why I was late sending my images in, that I'd been on the road and, anyway.
Oh, great picture.
Yeah.
Now, somebody snuck in on us, and I'll go back. Bill, we skipped over him until hopefully you would come. I'm going backwards, Bill, but this is the first of.
Since we consider rules as
Yeah.
well as farms, this is something that I've passed so many times on Big Woods Road, going down to the North Carolina State Forest. That's where I take our dog for a walk. So I just thought that this would be an image showing rural with all the what were they? Mailboxes inside the wooden kind of holders there. And what this was a 3-shot bracket. I think it was 3 images that I put together. Because it was kind of dark, the sun hadn't come up to light up the structures there at all, so I just took 3 and slapped them together. And to try to make it look rural, normally that road has a double yellow line, so I took that out. Just to keep it looking rural.
When I saw this, Bill, I thought, why are those chickens so close to the road? And then finally I saw the mailboxes, but I do bet those were chicken coops at one point.
Yeah.
What does the sign say?
This, come on, scroll up. This area observed by community watch citizens. Can read the numbers on it. It certainly is sharp.
It is.
I like the variety of mailboxes.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the box on the left.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make it.
The colors look great on this too, Bill.
And
Nice
I
fall
wasn't
colors.
sure how much I wanted to leave on the left-hand side there. Because I wanted to make it look like it was fading away as well as the road did.
Yeah.
I could have cropped it in a little tighter, but.
Oh, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
You really wanted to keep all that gold in it.
The rule.
Yeah, rural free delivery, that's the name of this.
And, oh, come on. Why won't this shrink?
There's no eyelashes.
There we go.
Oh, the reflection in the eye there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What does it reflect?
I don't think so, but I think I got the barn across the
Yeah.
street. And
Wow.
Wow.
Looks like people sitting there.
Yeah, it looks like a white built barn.
Amazingly sharp.
Ah,
That's another, what is it?
yeah.
I was just walking around Farrington because I have other ones that I could have submitted that are from the archives, but I was trying to work within the spirit.
Yeah, I know, I try to do that too, yeah.
And, yeah, so I just, out there practicing with the new camera,
Looks good.
Yeah, I can't tell you all the details of it because I was supposed to do that before I had to go to the airport this morning.
I don't know if you can see this. Helen, you asked me about whether this was doable, and I figured out that it is, but it's not data that is on every photo. And this one, auto exposure, aperture priority, f1 1/100th of a second, at 5.6. Focal length is 87. So
Craig. How close were you actually, Bill?
Not very. I actually cropped it pretty heavily. I had his whole head and even a little area around it. But then I just kept zooming in, moving around a little bit until I saw something that kind of hit me. And I made sure that his eye was on that, on the thirds.
Yeah, and I like how the light, the light on his ear, it goes to the corner.
Mm.
That bisects the frame.
That gives new meaning to catch light in the eye. That dot we normally see is like that.
All right.
Mike, you don't have my pictures.
Oh,
I thought sure I added them.
Yeah.
Hang on just a second. Sorry, Susan. I usually do that before I write the note, but for one reason, maybe I didn't this time. Let's see.
How did you survive the airport?
Well, it's my stepdaughter that had to be the survivor. Her flight was supposed to leave 1:44 yesterday.
So there were two,
So where'd you spend the night?
yeah.
See the airport?
In Dallas, Fort Worth.
At the airport?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then the other one too.
All right, Susan, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to him.
And then the other one, yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Expecting
cool.
it next
Oh,
Tuesday,
look.
going down to Fort Lauderdale to catch the cruise. Because on American Airlines, or do you,
They are.
Yeah.
that plane,
Where is this, Susan? You want me to go ahead and describe it, Mike?
misconnections to
And then you can do the other one too?
Where's the mic?
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and describe it and
I
then,
decided.
yeah, there's another one too. So this actually is a friend of mine's, farm in Chatham County, and they're Buddhists, and so that's why the prayer flags are there. And this also, for some reason, it looks more blown out than what I thought.
Yeah, and it's not nearly, I mean, it's not blown out. It's just the TV.
But this is also as Bob said, his was lesson, this is lesson 2. Because if you look over, okay, below the prayer flags, you see the trees. There was sticks in front of this picture, one right across, and then where that tree is, all the way on the right, the little skinny tree coming up, there's sort of a blob there. And when I sent it to Mike, I said it's sort of blob control. I didn't do a very good job of taking away the blob. You know, there was sticks and stuff like that, and I tried to do lassoing and spot healing brush, but anyway. But it sort of tells a story, because there's the feather flags and then the chickens.
Yeah, it's an interesting picture.
Was that a person?
Yeah, that's it's a couple and that's him, yeah, he was there. I asked him if I could come take pictures at their farm. But yeah.
Here's Susan's other one.
So this is their pig.
Oh, look at this.
We have 2 pigs. This is Obi. And he drools when he eats. And he has a booger in his nose. And when I first started shooting pictures, I realized that he and Bella were running around. So I had to shoot it at shutter priority. I did 1/500th of a second. And f5.6, and it was an ISO of 8,000.
Oh, he's pretty handsome little guy. He's not that big, is he? He's pretty small.
No, they're Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs.
Sometimes those things get big.
Well, he's not small.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to allow the pigs they had to run around their house, but these guys don't. So anyway.
All right, Susan, thanks for speaking up, and I'm sorry I didn't I would just swear I put them in the line, but obviously I didn't.
It's okay.
I was a cycling friend who just got chased by a crow, his first ever experience. being chased. Usually we get chased by dogs, but we got chased by a pig.
Wow.
I think I would be more scared of the pig.
Well, good set of shots. Bill said that he was fine with not doing tips and tricks and picking it up next time, just so we'd have some time to work on cards if anybody wants to stay. Have a good holiday. Happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels and all of that. Be on alert for the message from Helen about how the next meeting's going to happen. Okay. Take care.
Thank you.